and Spring in the Balkans by Diana Deshova, the international student. Alright, yoisho. Alright. For centuries, it's been said that vampires live in Bulgaria. Everyone knows the Count Dracula stories from Romania and Transylvania. But there's a lot of folklore in Bulgaria too. Let me turn on the sense. In Bulgaria too. Of stories like those who marry people who turn out to be vampires and things like that. I'm from a small village called Livograd that lies at the foot of the Balkan Mountains in my hometown. There are legends of a vampire who assumes the appearance of a young girl. We call her Lamia. Some say she's more like a witch than a vampire because she can use magic. Every spring, my village has a Lamia feast. When night falls, the villagers all gather and set fire to a pile of dead branches as high as a mountain. Then, everyone dances around the flames. Young women wear black dresses, take random villagers in their arms, and pretend to suck their blood. The huge fire flickers throughout the whole village as if laughing. We light incense, pass around alcohol and hookahs. The villagers' faces become red with heat. Their eyes mirror the flames and look like they are burning. Vampires are the living dead. On the night of the feast, it's said that the boundary between the living and the dead dissolves, leaving the souls of the dead free to roam about the earth. The more merrily you sing and dance, the more likely others may think that you, too, might be someone who has died long ago. At this banquet, there was a girl in a dress made from black crow feathers who was remarkably beautiful, but seemed remarkably sinister. She had glossy jet black eyes, her white skin glistened like candlelight. Every time she leapt by the fire, sweat flew from her body and her long hair swung wildly in the air. The villagers were so mesmerized by her dance that they forgot to sing. She was so alluring and mysterious that I heard someone say, "It's Lamia." That was it to me. My older sister Emma had brought Itsumi to the banquet. Though I say my older sister, actually, we are twins. For a reminder, Itsumi is the former club president who has deceased. Died a week ago. And they're making stories. Or they're having their short stories, giving their short stories about her and up to the day of her death, and they're trying to figure out who killed her. Basically Among Us. Our family is a poor one who had to scrimp and save just to send us to high school. In my village, it isn't a rare sight to see children picking flowers or delivering vegetables to earn a small wage. I haven't been able to work outside since the accident that paralyzed my left leg when I was young. But Emma also worked on plantations and took care of crows in her younger days. And after entering high school, she started working a part-time job at a travel agency that was an hour away by bus so she could help provide for our family. Unlike me, she doesn't have any disabilities, and her bubbly personality made her quite popular in school. She told me she chose to work at the travel agency because one day she wanted to travel the world. Livograd is a tiny, tiny town, far more from the capital, Sofia. It is located on the outskirts of Kazanlak, a town famous for its Rose Valley, but in my village there aren't really any tourist attractions. The only tourists that used to come to my village were usually just stopping by on their way to the Rose Valley. But once Emma started working at the travel agency, she proactively guided tourists to our village, and Levigrad had begun to prosper a little more. After Emma started her part-time job, she began a homestay program for tourists that let them stay with local families in Levigrad. It was a huge success. Many travelers came all the way to Bulgaria, instead of going to more typical destinations like America or England, because they wanted to understand and experience the everyday life in my country. Emma's plans to provide tourists with local lodging, to let them experience homemade Bulgarian cooking, and to show them around our neighborhood all ran smoothly. But sometimes, some tourists who are used to staying at hotels instead of local homes caused a bit of trouble. They were occasionally loud and rude, and left their homestays a mess. But the tourists from Japan were always tidy and polite, and therefore exceptionally popular with the locals. That was how Emma and I fell in love with Japan and its people. Then, we received a request to host a high school student from Japan for 2 weeks. Emma and I decided to let the student stay at our house because we were near her in age. This was how Itsumi came to stay with me. Even though the St. Mary's teacher, Mr. Hojo, escorted Itsumi to Bulgaria, he was so busy with research and school visits that Emma and I were basically left in charge of her. We didn't know much about Japan at the time, but were fascinated by the stories she told us about the little island. She told us of a country with cities built of towering skyscrapers, yet surrounded by abundant seas and nature. It was also a place where you can eat any cuisine in the world. I wanted to visit Japan with all of my heart. Emma and I also wanted Itsumi to love our country as much as we had come to love hers. We took Itsumi to many scenic spots in Bulgaria, the majestic snow-capped Vitosha Mountains, the golden beaches of the Black Sea, the Danube River that feeds the island, the magnificent fresco paintings in the Rila Monastery, the Piedin National Park, where wild animals graze in the Piedin Mountains, Bulgaria is not a wealthy country by any means. It is one of the weakest and poorest countries in the EU, but I am proud of Bulgaria because I know that it is the most beautiful country in all of Europe. Itsumi was a cheerful guest, showing interest in everything. She wasn't shy when speaking with other travelers, when sightseeing, and was the first to try local foods that other tourists would normally avoid. Despite her free-spirited attitude, she always matched my slow pace as I dragged my leg along, which showed to me that she was overflowing with compassion. Itsumi and I spoke a lot of English together. Sometimes we'd all gather in Emma's bedroom and talk the night away. Even though she only stayed with us for 2 short weeks, a strong bond formed between us. We would call each other close friends. It's an unfortunate truth that time flies when you're having fun. Before we knew it, it was her last day. That night, we invited our neighbors over for Itsumi's farewell party. We lined the dinner tables with shish kebabs and shopskas filled with goat cheese, and treated our guests to homemade rakia brandy. Mr. Hojo and Itsumi were delighted. Itsumi wore a kimono with sleeves trailing to the floor, which she said was a type of formal dress for unmarried women. The kimono's soft pink fabric was embellished with brilliantly colored cherry blossoms and cranes. A sash on her back looked like a giant blooming rose. Itsumi was as pretty as a painting. Whenever she moved, it seemed particles of light gleamed around her. I was captivated. "What's the matter, Diana?" Itsumi asked, grinning. She had noticed my gaze. "Are kimonos so unusual?" "I've never seen one before. It's incredible." "Well, thank you." "You brought it all the way here from Japan?" "I did." I remembered the suitcase in Utsumi's room. I told her I couldn't imagine how 2 weeks of luggage and that big kimono could fit into her suitcase. Itsumi laughed. "Come to my room when the party's over," she said. "I'll show you how I did it." Itsumi's enchanted everyone at the party. All the guests praised her as an Eastern jewel and asked her to dance. Despite her traditional Japanese sandals and the stiff cuffs of her kimono, Itsumi's steps were light, and she cast her spell on the guests through the night. "Are all Japanese girls as beautiful?" I asked Mr. Hojo, who was leaning against the wall. He laughed. "If everyone were as beautiful as her, Japan would be the best country in the world. Itsumi is special." After everyone left that night, I suddenly felt very lonely. Itsumi's stay ends tonight. She'll be leaving from Sofia Airport in the morning. I started sobbing while I watched the dishes in the kitchen. Then, someone tapped me on the shoulder. Remember what I said? Do you want to come to my room? Itsumi told me Emma was helping my parents tidy up the living room. I wiped my hands on a towel and, as quietly as I could, followed Itsumi to her room. We entered the room and she locked the door behind us. She stood in front of me and slipped off the flower that bloomed on her back. I couldn't believe how such a large, glorious kimono could become so long and narrow. I was even more surprised to see the complicated shapes of the kimono fold down into a thin rectangle. Itsumi tightly wrapped the kimono and sash in cream-colored washi paper. This type of washi paper was known as kimono wrapping paper, and was infused with turmeric leaves that repelled insects. Itsumi placed the tightly wrapped kimono at the very bottom of her suitcase. It was only an inch thick. Thanks for the lurk, Aki. It was only an inch thick, and even when combined with her traditional Japanese sandals, socks, and string sashes, all of her possessions only took up a small portion of the suitcase. See, it closes just fine, Natsumi smiled. Oh, how wise are the Japanese? Oh no, I switch over to stream elements. I just keep forgetting to actually add a lurk or re-add the lurk command for stream elements. Yeah, Streamlabs was super was big sleeping on me. I was like, you know, I'm done with it, so I switched over. I just need to re-add the lurk command. I never thought that something so complex in shape could become so simple and small. It would fit perfectly in a drawer. You could go on a trip with 10 kimonos in your suitcase and still have plenty of room. They weren't like dresses, which didn't fold up into neat rectangular shapes with their frills and puffy outlines. I heard that everything in Japan is compact. If that is true, then I feel that the kimono, made within that compact lifestyle, is the ultimate representation of Japanese wisdom. The kimono looked even lovelier at the bottom of the suitcase than when Itsumi wore it. To have thought of this design, the Japanese must have always been a unique and dignified race. Okay, now you try it on. Itsumi removed the kimono from the wrapping paper again and unfolded it. The dim and dingy bedroom instantly lit up with the brilliant colors of the kimono. Me? That kimono? Impossible. I was 4 inches taller than Itsumi, and I am big-boned and large-chested. I wasn't petite like her. There's no way I would fit into her kimono. It's going to look great on you. Put this on first. She had ordered me to take off my dress. She took her own under kimono, put it on my shoulders, and skillfully adjusted my collar through the sleeves. The faint warmth of her skin and the sweet fragrance of her body lingered in the fabric. Itsumi was now down to her underwear. She continued to pull and tug the kimono into place. I was baffled as to how she was able to adjust the kimono to my dissimilar build. She wrapped the sash in an intricate knot. It looked like a bird about to take off. It looks amazing. Look in the mirror. I looked at my reflection in the old and musty mirror. As she said, it did look nice on me. I felt strangely natural with it on. I enjoyed looking at the kimono, but I felt an even different pleasure when putting it on. It was as if flowers were blooming, brisk rivers were flowing, and birds were coming to life all over my body. I can't believe you didn't have to tailor it or something to fit me, right? This actually used to be my great-grandmother's kimono. You're kidding. My great-grandmother gave it to my grandmother, who gave it to my mother, who then finally gave it to me. It's never been mended, not even once. Kimonos can cover slight changes in size and height, you know? I plan to give it to my own daughter someday. How delightful. This wasn't something you could do so easily with a dress. I wonder if Western countries also possess something as culturally intelligent as the kimono. Japan secretly wields a sublime culture hidden in the depths of its skyscrapers and brand new technology. But if that isn't the true strength of Japan, then I don't know what is. Although I wasn't very familiar with Japanese culture at the time, I was so astounded by the wisdom and insight that went into the making of the kimono that I was under the impression that I would never experience something more culturally Japanese. Though I have lived in Japan for a few months now, that impression still hasn't changed. I've been blessed with opportunities to learn about tea ceremonies, ikebana, kabuki, and other forms of classical Japanese culture, but I still generally feel that Itsumi's kimono, folded into a neat and flat rectangle at the bottom of her suitcase, was the most Japanese thing I've ever seen. Oh, my voice. Alright, gonna drink some milk. Test. Ba 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 ba. Glove. Oi. Alright. I hope Poppy playtime was fun for you, Iggy. Too spooky for me, though. I'm going to take this thing off now. I don't want to get it dirty, I said. Itsumi nodded and began to unravel the sash. Kimonos cling tight to my body. Our arms crossed so many times while she undressed me. It was as if we were embracing. Our faces were so close I almost thought we'd kiss. I struggled to breathe at first. I thought it was because the kimono was too tight, but I soon realized that it was having her so close, her long eyelashes, the fine hair on her soft cheeks, and the white base of her neck. That stole my breath. She helped me out of the kimono and I was suddenly down to my bra and underwear. Embarrassed, I hastily put my dress back on. Itsumi refolded the kimono and its undercover, wrapped them together, and then put them back in the suitcase. I'm going to miss you so much when you leave, I sighed. Itsumi also looked forlorn. I'm going to miss you, too, but I'll be back, I promise, Itsumi replied, giving me a tender hug. My body temperature shot up as her cheek rested against mine. Her soft body, a vibration like that of a fluttering butterfly's wing, trembled between our chests. I can't count the number of times I regret not kissing her that day. If I had only slightly turned my neck, if I had been a bit braver, I could have touched those sweet lips. But at the time I had already been struggling, trying my hardest to catch my breath. My emotions were already ready to spill over at the slightest move. Emma and I took Itsumi to the airport the next morning. Mr. Hojo was waiting for us at the airport. I couldn't stop from tearing up watching Mr. Hojo and Itsumi check in at the counter. "Davutstane," Itsumi said to me and Emma, which means goodbye in Bulgarian. She then embraced both of us. She held me longer than she did Emma, partly because I had been crying so much, and gently caressed my back. I don't want to let you go. I don't want to let go of your arms, I thought to myself. Despite my unwillingness to part, time passed in its uncaring way, and it was really time to say goodbye. We'll see each other again, right? Itsumi asked with tears in her eyes. When? I asked. Itsumi stopped to think for a moment. Next year. Really? Yes, Itsumi said with an encouraging smile. Mr. Hojo, I want to come back to Bulgaria next year, she announced, turning to Mr. Hojo. She must have been trying to show me that it wasn't just an empty promise after seeing how lonely I looked. Mr. Hojo must have sensed what Itsumi was trying to do. Understood. I'll start the negotiations right after we return, he nodded. So there's no need to cry, Diana. We'll see you again next year, he said, with a comforting grin. While he was in Bulgaria, I didn't get to spend much time with Mr. Hojo. On a few occasions that I did, he was always reading one of his books. Despite his young age, he had a world-weary, serious air about him, always lost in deep thought, which made it hard for me to talk to him and gave me the impression that he was quite the strict professor. After he comforted me in this way, however, I realized that he was rather kind. Itsumi and Mr. Hojo headed towards the gate, their gate. I watched Itsumi get progressively smaller as she walked further away. As foolish as it may be, I only realized I was in love with her after she had completely disappeared. Next year. That seemed dauntingly far away. I sent Itsumi emails almost every day, and she responded to me as much as she could. I started studying Japanese to fill the void she had left behind. Emma bought me Japanese textbooks that had learning CDs which I would listen to as I studied. I accompanied Emma when she guided Japanese tourists, and I practiced speaking to them by lining up the words that I had learned. Every day, I spent 2 hours copying the works of Ryonosuke Akutagawa and Yukio Mishima to boost my vocabulary skills and to try and conquer the difficulties of kanji. I did all this so I could surprise Itsumi when I saw her. These trivial efforts were nothing compared to the pain of not being able to see her. I marked the days when X's on the calendar. Then it was finally time to reunite. Emma and I went to the airport to meet her. I was overcome with emotion when I saw my dear Itsumi in the lobby. "I'm so glad you're back. I've been looking forward to this moment all year," I greeted Itsumi in Japanese. You should have seen how surprised she looked. "Diana, did you really just speak Japanese?" Itsumi asked. "Yes, I studied it to get closer to you." "Oh, I'm so happy." She enveloped me in her soft arms, the same way she had a year ago. I looked over Itsumi's shoulders and saw Mr. Hojo standing there, smiling. "It's been a while, Mr. Hojo. I'm amazed. Your pronunciation is impeccable. You teach Japanese, right, Mr. Hojo? Could you teach me the polite forms of Japanese while you're here?" "Oyasui goyo." Huh? Oh, that means okay. Only after I spoke with Mr. Hojo did I realize that there was another girl standing behind him. She hadn't introduced herself or joined in our conversation. She simply stood there looking bored. "Shio, this is Emma and her sister Diana. They took care of us last year," Mr. Hojo explained to her. The girl glanced at us and slightly moved her chin. This was apparently supposed to be some sort of greeting. "This is Shio Takaoka. She's going to be here in her second year of high school this spring," Mr. Hojo said, introducing the unfriendly girl. "Shio is a popular author and she's a member of our literature club," Itsumi told us. She said that Shio had recently won an award for her teen novel, Kimikageso. She was so enthusiastic about it, it was as if it had been her own achievement. But I was disappointed. Having another student around meant that we would have to do everything together. I figured that I wasn't going to be able to talk one-on-one with Itsumi and would have to play nice with this other girl who had already rubbed me the wrong way. "Welcome to Bulgaria," Emma beamed, sticking her right hand out in front of her. Even an impolite student like Shio was an important client for Emma. "Hello," replied Shio, shaking Emma's right hand, still not smiling. But she wasn't looking at me or Emma. She was staring right past us, at Utsumi. That piercing, cold stare. Now that I look back on it, that was probably when Shio first wanted to kill her. Hey Nasty, go back to Apex, alright? Just make sure Shio's is just the author dude, right? Shio Takao, second year, I have to recognize all this. She wasn't really that focused much on any of the short stories. Ooh. Oh, my neck. Alright. As I feared, Shio tagged along everywhere we went. I thought about pushing Shio onto Mr. Hojo, but he was so busy with research and school visits like he had been the previous year that he was always separated from us. With Mr. Hojo out of this picture, Emma was left in charge of all tourist activities. She stayed up all night mapping out efficient routes and schedules to make sure our guests could visit as many famous places as possible. Actually, should do a movie night, but we watch the Final Fantasy movies. True. Why make both do it? And I'm not gonna show up because I'm not interested? No, I'm kidding. I don't know, I don't really know anything about Final Fantasy, so... I mean, I'll probably give it... I mean, I'll probably still be there if it's a convenient time. And if I don't like it, I'll just be drawing while listening in. The Rita Monastery, the Rose Valley, the Museum of History. It was almost the same as last year's tour, but this time we included a visit to Aldemir's Kaleto, a fortress where Aldemir, a 14th century Bulgarian leader, defended against attacks from the Ottoman Turks. The previous year we hadn't been able to fit it in. There is a tragic legend about the Kaleto. When the Ottomans poured in, two beautiful girls decided to throw themselves into a river, preferring suicide over falling into the hands of the enemy. They tied their hair together so that neither of them would back out. The moment they dropped down from a cliff to their death, their bodies were turned to stone. The two stones are still at the fortress, grieving their split blood and the loss of their souls. Or so the legend goes. Rumor has it that you can sometimes still see their ghosts, which helps make this a popular tourist destination. It's only 3 and one is big. I see. Itsumi seemed to be extremely touched by this legend. Tears formed in her eyes when she saw two stones that looked like they were huddling together, and she eagerly listened to Emma's stories about the Ottoman invasion. Everywhere we took her, her eyes shone with interest and curiosity. She asked so many questions that she even almost made a professional guide like Emma falter. Shio, on the other hand, looked bored everywhere. The massive Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, which can hold over 5,000 guests, is overwhelmingly beautiful. But Shio barely glanced at it before just starting to play with her camera and mobile phone. She carried a superb single-lens reflex camera, but only used it when Itsumi prompted her to. She clearly had no interest in Bulgarian history, culture, language, or even in the country itself. I was furious. Why had Shio chosen to study here in the first place? Sometimes I felt the urge to play a nasty trick on her, like hiding her camera and pretending it was lost. But there was no way I could get my hand on it while it dangled, completely unused, on a strap around her neck. If she wasn't interested in seeing landscapes and historical buildings, then what did she like to take photos of? In any case, Shio was selfish. For instance, Emma arranged for her to stay at our neighbor's Bessie's house, but she complained that she didn't like the food and forced Emma to move her to a different location. Then, Shio got mad and complained that her homestay there was a mess, leaving us no other choice but to put her in a hotel in Kazanlak. The first requirement in the agreement between Emma's travel agency and St. Mary's Academy for Girls is that students in the study abroad program must stay at a local residence. That's so nasty, that's cool. This makes sense, considering that the purpose of the program is to have a so-called international exchange. Emma explained this to Shio many times, but she wouldn't listen. Shio even threatened to report Emma to the academy and claimed that her services were inadequate. If Shio complained to the school, Emma would lose her job. We were left with no choice but to put her in a hotel and ask Itsumi and Mr. Hojo to keep it a secret. Although I dreaded Itsumi's departure, I was counting down the days that Shio had left on my fingers. How does that sound, Eggy? Even though Shio behaved terribly towards me and Emma, she was always friendly to Itsumi and smiled whenever they talked. But I could see the strain in her smile and notice her eyes didn't have any laughter in them at all. At first, I just thought that Shio was nervous, hanging around an upperclassman like Itsumi. But as time went on, I realized that she always had something cruel up her sleeves. Shio played childish tricks on Itsumi. Once, Itsumi dropped her earring on the floor of a tour bus. I saw Shio snatch the earring. Yes, left the name on Icy. From the ground, hide it in her backpack and pretend to help Itsumi search for it. There was something else, too. Itsumi bought us good luck bracelets from the Rila Monastery. Emma and I immediately put our bracelets on our wrists. But Shio simply smiled, thanked Itsumi, and then shoved the cute pink bracelet into her pocket. When Emma took Shio to her room the next day, as she always did, Emma apparently found the pink strings of the bracelet in the garbage. My sister and I weren't surprised. It wasn't unlike her at all. Yo, silly prank theft? Yeah, hey, so we're doing well. We're just reading along. We're reading about Diana's perspective, her story, which is the international student, which she lives in Bulgaria and apparently met Utsumi because there's an international exchange student program where Utsumi comes visit Bulgaria to just learn about Bulgaria, and Diana and her sister are showing her around. The first time she got really close to Utsumi and loved her presence, and then the second time, which is a year after, when she came back to do the same exchange program, she invited someone called Shio instead, which is the author in the literature club, and Diana describing Shio in a very, very bad light, as in she's very selfish and very mean. Alright. And that's a recap. And then now we're here. And we're just talking about she's just talking about how Shio is whack. Even though Shio's nastiness was obvious to everyone around her, Utsumi still bought her presents, checked up on her health, and took care of her like a sister, as if she was the only one who didn't notice. Utsumi was so innocent, so naive. My dear Utsumi, she was a perfect woman. At first, I couldn't understand how Shio could hate someone so incredible. Diana's mad simping for Utsumi, the president, or the deceased president of the literature club. I'm guessing the reviews from Diana. And back. You know what? You might be right, Sofu. However, after I'd spent a few days with them, I finally put the pieces together. Utsumi was the club president of the literature club, meaning that she had a special aesthetic appreciation or an eye for literature. While we drove to different tourist attractions, she often discussed her literary theories in the car and criticized what she didn't like about all kinds of literature, regardless of their popularity. Utsumi was generally soft-spoken, but whenever literature came up, she spoke rapidly and passionately. She even bluntly listed off the flaws of Shio's debut novel, Kimikageso. Alright, let me drink some milk. My voice is dying again. Glug, 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 glug. Alright. Realistically, the main character wouldn't have gotten mad in that situation. I feel like a Japanese person would cry before they got angry. The parent-child relationship lacks depth. Foreigners become independent early on in life, but Japanese parents and children still depend on each other even when they become adults. We should have delved deeper into that aspect. Whenever Shio was criticized, she faked a soft smile and never argued back. Utsumi always finished off her criticism by making an excuse for Shio, saying that she couldn't help make a few mistakes about Japanese culture because she had grown up in France. Shio played along, nodding and silently smiling because she knew it would shut Utsumi up. She pretended everything was fine on the surface while playing sinister tricks on Utsumi in the shadows. I found her behavior disgraceful and my hatred for her intensified. Ow. Ouchie, ouch. I poked the table. Or I jammed my finger to the table. Bleh. Oh, sorry. Just cracking my fingers. Alright. Okay. Another sip and then I'll continue reading. We have 15 more pages, we're halfway, so at this rate, probably 40 more pages. Sad? No, you stop that nasty. Will you be okay? What the heck? Of course I'm okay. I poked the table just... Euphemism? I'm gonna smack you, soulful. What? Wait, I'm fine. What the heck? Educational joke? Uh-huh. On the last day of their trip, Emma and I had planned to take Utsumi and Shio to the museum, but school was running late and we weren't able to go. Utsumi told me not to worry that Shio would go along with Shio instead, but I thought this was a horrible idea. Shio was outright nasty towards Utsumi right in front of me and Emma, so I couldn't imagine the terrible things she'd do without anyone to watch her. I panicked and begged Mr. Hojo to cancel his meeting so he could take them to the museum. After school, Emma and I rushed home. I was relieved to find it to be safe and sound. How was the museum? Did you get there alright? Did you have fun? Did she do anything to you? I asked in panic the moment I opened the door. That's a lot of questions, Itsumi laughed. Well, first of all, we got to the museum just fine, thanks to the directions you gave Mr. Hojo. Second, it was great. And lastly, Shio didn't do anything to me actually. She didn't even come. She didn't go. Nope. She said she wasn't feeling well. Oh gosh, my voice. My voice is dying. Sometimes I can still hear his voice. I'm banning all three of you. What the heck? Hello, testing. I know someone playing them and I'm losing all. What? Oh wait. She didn't go? Nope. She said she wasn't feeling well. Oh, okay. Well, that's a relief. What is? No, it means nothing. Anyways, I'm just glad that you had a good time. Shio hadn't gone with them. What if you said testing and you realized you were muted, but we were replying because we were under the bed? Oh wait. That is kind of terrifying. I felt like a weight had just been lifted from my shoulders. Falling ill on her last day must have been some sort of divine punishment for everything she had done. We threw a small party that night, just like we had the year before. Once again, Natsume's Japanese clothing was a feast for the eyes. Of course, she wasn't able to come because she was sick. I was sad throughout the party. Natsumi told me she would come back next year on her spring break before college, but that meant I wouldn't get to see her again for another whole year. I smiled as much as I could as to not worry her, but eventually broke down in tears, unable to hold it any longer. Don't cry, Diana. I have a present for you. Itsumi sat me down on the sofa. She always made sure that I didn't put too much pressure on my bad leg. Here, this is for you. I hope you like it. It was a box done up in blue wrapping paper. I opened it and found a lovely little doll sitting politely inside, as if on her best behavior. That's so cute. Wolfie's greatest enemy? Oi. Oh my goodness. I found this at the market. Oh my goodness. I found this at the market today. Don't we look alike? Yes, it just looks like you. Right? It was pretty surprising. I was pretty surprised myself. This is amazing. I'm going to take such good care of it. Thank you, Itsumi. I took the doll out of the box and hugged it. She was only about a foot tall and looked like she was made out of celluloid. She wore an elegant light blue dress. She had long, luxurious, chestnut-colored hair and shiny black glass eyes. Her light pink lips were curled into a small, seductive smile. The more I looked at the doll, the more it looked like Itsumi. Of course, I decided to name her Itsumi. It was probably because I knew I saw the doll that I wasn't as lonely when Emma and I dropped Itsumi off at the airport the next day. Lofi's the greatest Lofi. Oh, wait. Emma, Diana, thank you for everything, Mr. Hojo said. Shio thanked me and us in the same curt way that she greeted us when she had first arrived. She went off to the gate by herself. Will we meet again next year? I asked Itsumi. Yes, we will. And we also want to go to Japan someday, Emma added. I would love that. Itsumi replied with a smile. When Emma and I returned home, I went straight to my bedroom. The doll was sitting on my bed waiting for me. Itsumi, I'm home. I said, lifting the doll to my face. Welcome home, Diana. I hope we can be great friends, I thought, the doll said to me. Overcome with happiness, I lightly caressed little Itsumi's face. Hey, Chrome. Been a while, hope you're doing well. Yeah, it is story time. It reminds me of the short story like you were the last person alive and you sneeze and you hear someone say bless you. Story hello, can you show compared I remember. Blech. I just burped. Don't mind me. Almost pooped my pants? Okay, I wasn't that scared. Where were we? Ever since that day, that doll had never left my side. I always kept her wrapped in a cloth because it's embarrassing to carry a doll now. and I don't want anyone to know, of course. I also brought little Itsumi to Japan. The doll listens to me when I'm down and rejoices with me when I am happy. If I have my doll, I can overcome anything. I'm not gonna. I'm a big fan. Folks might come around sometimes, like, like the saying, like you come around, or you come around to here specifically. You come around to my reading stream sometimes. Is that so? I mean, hey, I mean, just chill, just do whatever you want. I mean, reading's not for everything, everyone, or I mean, no hobbies for everyone. Oh yeah. So that's what I mean by come around. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, or that's what I assumed. As I read books once in a while, I see. Yeah. I mean, if you have like a specific genre you like, you can just like read books mainly in that similar vein. What the heck, Eggy Oi? Facts though. A few days after Itsumi had gone back, it turned out she wasn't just being polite when she said she really did want us to come to Japan. Itsumi told me that she negotiated with her father, who is the school chairman and a school principal, and successfully engineered an invitation for me to the Academy's study abroad program. I was amazed and overjoyed. Moreover, since I had been invited into the program, the Academy was also going to pay all my expenses and let me stay in a convent attached to the school. But only one person. Only one person could go. Though I longed to see Itsumi, I was worried about my disability and recommended that Emma go instead. I didn't think that I'd be able to adjust to living abroad with my leg, and felt that Emma deserved it more, after all. If it hadn't been for her hard work at the travel agency, I wouldn't have met Itsumi or received this offer in the first place. Emma's preparations for a study abroad program went without a hitch. She was the one who dreamed of traveling the world. She even enjoyed a complicated visa application process. She talked about her trip every day, like how she planned to visit Mount Fuji to see if it was as beautiful as the Vitosha Mountains, and how she was interested in Aomori rather than popular tourist cities like Kyoto and Nara, because she felt it was similar to Bulgaria in a way. Though, I felt lonely knowing we'd be apart for a year. I was excited when I thought about the strong ties she would form in Japan during her stay. Oh, that's a cute wiggle emote. And what the heck, nasty oi. But God can be cruel. One day, leading a tour at Aldemora's Caleto, Emma fell down a stone staircase. She suffered a blow to the head and broke her arms and legs. Thank heaven the wounds weren't fatal, but they did require 3 months of hospitalization followed by the 6 months of rehabilitation, which left her no choice but to drop out of the study abroad program. Yo, I bet Diana pushed her sister off. So I was suddenly set to take my sister's place in the program, and I had to prepare immediately. I was apprehensive of how I would manage because of my leg and introverted personality, but mustered up the courage because I knew I would soon see Itsumi. Though I thought my certificate of eligibility for resident status and visa would take a while to go through. I received both surprisingly fast and was able to make it in time for a new semester in April. Again, I was overjoyed. This must be what the Japanese called Engaaru, or what we know as fate. Get saying it, Bob. What the heck, so cool. Anyway, oh my gosh. I never had a Baja Blast though. I don't know what it is really. I just see the flavor sometimes at 7-Eleven. What the heck? You actually have one? At least some piece has one with me here to hold. Wait, that's just me, OG. You get out of here. Hey, OG. The chance that people is listening. Oh, really? That's cool. Wait, what is Baja Blast? I know it's like a drink, but what is it? My study abroad experience was also meaningful in another way. I was going to be the first international student at St. Mary's Academy for Girls. If I could make a positive impact on the academy, they might invite students from Leningrad to come study abroad. Every year. This would be a huge honor for my village. On top of that, Emma would most likely receive a bonus from her company for coordinating the program of the academy. All this depended on my experience abroad. This is why I try my best in classes and actively participate in school events, like the music festival and Easter bazaar. Baba's is Mountain Dew on crack. Oh, really? At first, I was completely disoriented. This was my first time in another country, and I was attending a school with only girls. Oh, by the way, I hope everything's working out for you, OG. I know you're like, having trouble. Having trouble is moving right now. Tropical lime flavor, I see. No. Yeah, tropical is just another word for cracked. Lime on crack. Although there are all girls schools in almost every country, the Japanese equivalent feels like it exists in its own world. This is a world where schoolgirls compete to pull the strings of leadership. These strings are stressed so tautly, it's painful to see. Like wires, they hurt your hands as they tie you up. Whether girls are trying to protect their station or are plotting to steal one away from others, no one goes unscathed. Yet, all the schoolgirls pretend that they're indifferent to this game, and laugh as they chatter innocently away. But it all became clear to me in this academy, in this unique environment known as an all-girls school. The students spend their days tugging on these strings. Who is in charge? Who has power? Who is the leader? The girl warily sniff around, finding out who's on top, then vigilantly wait for their chance to take hold of the reins. This is what my glimpse at an all-girls school in Japan told me. Experience being a bro? Oh, you stop that. It felt as if strings stretched across the classroom. Your apathy won't help you escape. It'll only entangle you deeper. Perhaps the only one who could see these strings spun into such an intricate spiderweb was me, the only outsider at school. Oh, we got that is such a big no. I'm not reading that. The book I am reading after this is like a light novel. Is also an anime weeb light novel about oh they're actually making a movie about it too. They're gonna make an anime movie on the book I'm reading next in like 2022 fall, I think. But I'll be finishing the book before then. It's about how there's a tunnel that when you go through it, your wishes get granted, but as a result, you age faster. I never read the Hunger Games or watched it. I kind of know what it's about because one of my classmates read it and told me all about it and was obsessed with it. But have I read like a Battle Royale book? No, I haven't read Battle Royale. I haven't read Hunger Games. I haven't read... Those are the only two I can think of. Oh, she never get wrinkles, I see. Hunger Games was bustin', is it now? I'm not a fan of those, or of that kind of genre. I mean, I read Batum. I read Batum, the manga. Which is people get put into an island and fight for money. I see. They sell their stuff. Oh, yeah, basically, OG. Splatoon, the manga. I'm gonna slap you. Batum. It should be an anime too, at one point. BTOM. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. But I'm still not really a fan of that genre. Yeah, kind of like that, but there's no A. It's just BTOM. When I read a new fanfic, never OG. There's no fanfic. Another one I read, it's called like Suicide Island. It's about everyone. It's about people who wanted to commit suicide. I think I forgot. It's been so long. But instead of committing suicide, a company put them save these guys and put them in an island together just for whatever, probably as like a research study. I don't know. And basically that's it. They're left to like learn how to like survive there, or people who wanted to continue going through with their attempt does it. But yeah, it's a very this art is really outdated, but it was a really good manga. I enjoyed it. Also, me turning into Anju be like, what? Bad RNG, Iggy. At the end of the kind of shiny third party and dies? Yo, that's nasty right there. Oh wait, where was I? I think I was up here. Okay. What the heck, Aggie? These power relationships change by the day. No, by the hour. At a dizzying pace. Seconds ago, girl A might have been the most popular student in school, but everyone started ignoring her after lunch. Or the opposite might, and did, happen. Are there any webs of relationship as cruel and brutal as these? I was so happy to be an international student. I was a mere outsider and witness to this tug of war. And even then, I'm not sure if this is the right phrase in Japanese. It left a sting, or hidi pain, in my heart, as if it was slowly being sanded down into nothing. In spite of that, Itsumi surpassed everyone and moved freely amongst the chaos. There were plenty of attractive girls at the academy. They were all Eastern jewels in their own refined, clever, graceful ways, but they were nothing more than pebbles at Itsumi's feet. Itsumi was so overwhelmingly brilliant that she could outshine anything. At first, it was bewildering being at an all-girls school like this, but thanks to Itsumi, my life at the academy was really enjoyable. Joining this club and making new friends were probably my most valuable experiences here. Even though I say I studied Japanese through Akutagawa and Mishima's novels, I didn't have the skills to read full-length Japanese novels when I first joined the club. Every day after I finished my homework, I tried my best to get through our book discussion text. Discussion text? Feeling accomplished on days I managed to get through even 10 pages of it. Even though I struggled, Itsumi didn't give me shorter texts or easier things to read. With your Japanese abilities, you'll be able to read this in no time, she would say before giving me a mercilessly difficult assignment. I must confess, this did make me resent Atsumi at first. I thought she should have eased up on me because I was an international student, but as I began to decipher the text little by little every day, before I knew it, I really had learned a ton of vocabulary, metaphors, and idioms. Just came back, look at this dude. The world shall know propane. The ship name of Pita and Katniss had middle school dead. Move quick without Wolfie died, Katniss got third part of JD. My mom, let's go. I'll take on our awesome her, takes 4 hours. Yo, just get wrecked. I'm kidding. I don't RNG. Well, I mean, if you care, I mean, I'll do it anyways in case, like, I'll recap the chapter anyways. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'll take a break. I need to take a break. Wait, where was I though? Okay, I was here. We're just 10 pages left for this chapter. Wow, we've read like 20 pages. I am bussin'. Oh, you stop that, nasty. Wait, sure. Oh my gosh. No. I'm still gonna. Wait, sure. Let me turn this on. I'm just stretching, taking a break, and finishing the chapter, which is 10 more pages. I'm just gonna recap the chapter since, I mean, Al's here, Mofu's here. I might as well recap the chapter as I take my break. Oh, get wrecked, Sofu. I got third party? No, I kind of leaned back and kind of fell down. I mean, but there's nothing to, like, hit my head against, so it wasn't. Besides this bag of chips behind me. I have a whole bag of tortilla chips. Okay, wait. Me trying to fit into tortilla chips. It's so big! It's like a feet tall. I think it's like a feet or two tall. I don't know why. There's such a big bag. You finished a whole bag? You see, I'm not a fan of dip. I don't like dip with chips. I don't like any kind of dip usually, so I just... And tortillas kind of... It's just tasteless. I mean, it's salty, I mean, I guess, but... Well, if we saw your face, yeah, whatever. Ah, she all saw my face? I'll do the VOD later. Yeah, I wasn't wearing my headset. My headset's mad sus. It looks like... What the heck? Oh, it's not sus. I just look really dumb wearing the headset. Oh, you're just kidding? Okay. Honestly, it didn't get me nervous. I don't think... If I actually reveal my face on stream, I don't really care that much. I mean, it wouldn't be like, oh shoot, but... I wouldn't be too worried. I don't know how I feel if I reveal my face. I don't know. Yeah, I would just feel weird. Huh. I don't know. How I look RL though? I look pretty whack. Wearing Adidas track. It is. Wait, what? Yeah, it is, Iggy. How do you know? You have Adidas, yeah. Just like the worst form of gold. What the heck? Okay, so do it? No, I won't. The only part looks like he's gonna fly an F-65 with the headset. Oh, no. Oh, you stopped it. No, I have this version, and then I have the one that's like is like really memed on the memed on the tracksuit for this tracksuit one. I used to have that, but I don't have it anymore, or I outgrown it. I want to wear a headset. You know how the headset like you know, it's on your ears, and if you wear glasses, it'll kind of like squish the. Like, it'll kind of squish the handles of the glasses and like kind of push it into your head, and it hurts for me. So I kind of lift it up. I kind of lift the glasses a bit up, and it looks really weird. To like avoid the getting hurt. Like okay, so if you lift your glasses up a little bit above your eyes, and the frames gets tilted, everything starts looking flat. And it looks horrible. So basically, when I play Apex, I'm playing widescreen Apex. And now this game's not that bad. I'm exaggerating, but when I draw, I do need to like not have like that, so I can actually see what it looks like. That's with it not flat. Don't worry, Iggy, my tracksuit is Adidas. I got this. Swap me? What the? Well, actually, just like nerds in animes. Oi, I only wear button shirts. Am I really going to show y'all my clothing? I just wear plaid shirts. I wear plaid button shirts, or like striped button shirts, or like any button shirt of single colors. Oh yeah, I'll stop that. What do nerds in anime even dress like? Show us the shoes? I just wear boots. Okay, I'll show you. Hold up. Your show. It's just leather boots. What up? How do I do this without 30? You're like, shut. It's just this. Oh, you're like, shut. It's just that. It's kind of hard to see though. Yeah, there you go. That. I just walk up to you and go yeehaw on them. Okay, I need to wash my hands. I may or may not touch the sole of it. I actually finished reading the chapter today. My shoes look like you stop that. Redneck King A. He says tips. It's only paper tooth. Or trolling. But yeah, it's just so convenient. I just wear them, and it rains so much here, it doesn't get into the rain doesn't get into my boots because it's like it's so high up. Like if I wear sneakers, it'll just make my it might get in pretty easily. Make my socks wet. Wear boots will not get icy. I don't have anything else. The Uggs. yeah, kind of. I don't know what else to show you. When I go to class, when I use a bag, my bag is a messenger bag. Boots in the summer? Yo, I don't even go out in the summer. If I do go out, maybe. No, I gotta wear the boots, cause you know, cause if I reveal a bit of if I wear shorts, I reveal a bit of skin. I don't want like down there to get sunburned. You know, I wear like long socks and stockings. I'm kidding. I don't do that. I just wear sandals. I don't have a cowboy hat. Okay, what's this Gohan stuff? Let me look at this. What the heck? Wait, that. Oh, I think this is what I look like, well. Tracksuit, oi. I put my boots in your meme channel? Alright. Wait, why the meme channel? Wait, that's so cursed. Okay, that's why it's the meme channel. That's not a snake, that's a freaking alligator or crocodile, whatever. That's not even like a. That's not even a crocodile in your boot. That's a foot in your crocodile. Yo, Iggy has some sick Crocs. Let's go. I don't think there's anything else I can share. I mean, I could show you my clothes, but I'm too lazy. Next time. You drinking milk? Yeah, I'm drinking milk. Milk. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright. There's some strawberries. I don't have strawberry syrup. Boy. I never tried strawberry milk though. Let's go back to reading so I can end stream and get myself away from y'all. Get me out of here. You sure I get out? Wait, shoulder socks? I'm gonna be mismatched. Oh my gosh, wait, I'm not gonna get baited into this. It's just, oh, the socks I'm wearing right now though are like gray, but they're just gray and like black stripes. And the socks I wear to go outside are just white long socks, that's all. They're not knee high though, they're like right under the knee. I'm not showing my socks though. Toothbrush? If my toothbrush is a water pick. I have a water pick. In case you don't know what a water pick is, it's a special kind of robot that goes into your mouth and starts picking. It uses a pickaxe and start mining your teeth. It mines the plaque and all the cavities and all that stuff. Realize your foot in the socks, but without. You want to take off my socks and show on street? That is. Obviously, you can't smell it or see it, but that's disgusting. No foot, no proof, whatever. Alright. Go back to reading. Y'all are distracting me. Oh my gosh, that was like a 20-minute break. You made it sound like I was serious? I don't know, so it sounds like a just kidding, but unless? It sounds like that kind of thing. You're serious, Soulful. You stop that. No, I'm kidding. I was actually considering it though. Cause I was, oh my god, I'm smacking you. Show the bed sheets? It's so far. My cord's not gonna make. I stream in the living room, Nasty. My bed is too far away. Alright, I need to go back to reading. Y'all are gonna distract with all your suggestions. SSN? They're blue nasty? No, they aren't. They're white. White striped with gray, white and gray. Me waiting for that oh shoot! I totally forgot what the recap. Show us your dad when he checks the car. Oh, that's a good one. What is happening? We're about to read, but but I got distracted. Hey, wait, hold up. Let me just readjust this, and then I'll do a recap. I totally forgot I was supposed to do a recap. I'm trolling. Alright, there we go. Nice clothes. Oh, this clothes makes me look fat. No, I'm kidding. I mean, kind of. But I'm super skinny. But it's skinny as heck. That's why I need like a sweater to keep myself warm. Okay, I'm ignoring chat. I'm gonna do my I was gonna do my do my what? Recap. Yeah, it is Adidas. I'm like, how do you guys know? Is it that common? The track? I didn't know it was that common. I didn't say someone, I said something. Okay, so recap is, so we're on, so the third short story is about Diana, which is the international student. So an international student who lives in Bulgaria and is in the study abroad program so that they could learn in Japan at the all-girls school where Itsumi is, the literature club is. But it starts off with like her origin story, basically, that she was just, in Bulgaria, and Itsumi, the now deceased literature club president, was doing an exchange student program with Diana, who is the international student, now is the international student. So Itsumi went to Bulgaria. That's how they met, and Diana simps for her. She's simps for Itsumi. She's amazing. Oh my god. And then that only lasted for a bit, and then the year after, Itsumi came back, but with someone called Shio instead. Shio is the author, writer in the literature club, but Diana portrays her, Shio, in the story as someone very selfish, very mean, and very rude, and basically is implying that she's the killer. or the yeah, the killer of Itsumi. And then so on talks about that. And then once they leave again, Itsumi managed to convince her father that she convinced her father to get the Bulgarian student Diana or her sister into the school. And at first, her Diana has a disability, by the way. She can't. One of her legs don't work like they used to before. I can say that. I can say that with a straight face. But so she was like, okay, I guess my sister can go. But then her sister conveniently fell down some stone steps, hit her head, broke her arms and legs, and you know, Diana probably did it. I don't know. Who knows? Please don't look at me like that, guys. I'm sorry. And then Diana was like, Pog, I can go now. And then she goes, and this is where we're at. She's basically describing her experience at the Japanese all-girls school and saying how everyone is like always aiming at each other's throats, that everyone wants to be popular, the cool kid basically, and once you do something that endangers your reputation, they'll capitalize on it and ruin your social life there. Just describing it, yeah. Wait guys, please don't leave, come back. When your legs don't work like they used to before. Alright. Let me read. And yeah, that's it so far. Alright, let me read. Chat. I'm just cool like that, Lofi, whatever. Is the track common? Please, the trademark lines. I mean, like couldn't like a different company also like do like tracks and stuff, and maybe it's okay, whatever. I see. You ever got an exchange before in your school? I was in an exchange student program for China in middle school. So they lived at my house and I lived at their house in China. I don't wear tracksuits because it reminds me of the track people. I could never. Why did I laugh at that? Now see, I'm gonna smack you. Gotta go out for a nightly ritual. Don't end without me, love. Sorry, LG will probably end without you. Hey, that's how you live in their house? Yeah, you stay at their house during when you yeah, exchange student program. They come over and they stay at your house, and then you go over to their place and you stay at their house. It's called. Oh, I mean, I guess those are specifically called homestays. They're called homestay, the exchange student homestay program, homestay programs. It's not awkward. I mean, they applied for the program, so that's what they expected. And they would like learn phrases or that language, and an idea of what their culture's like before coming here. That's the point of the program, is to like learn more about the culture and program or whatever, or learn more about the culture and language of your place, of your area. So whether it's awkward or not depends on the person, I guess. Or it depends on the individual. I mean, for me, it wasn't really awkward. That guy loves CS or Counter-Strike. So I downloaded Counter-Strike Source on my PC, or 1.6, and we would take turns playing, and he loved Minecraft too. I didn't have Minecraft though. When I went to his place, we played Minecraft though. Oh, is their trademark? If they did, it'd be illegal. Really? They trademarked 3 white stripes. Dang. I'm for a bad RNG for everyone else. Whenever you want to enter program and that family having argue while you're like, yo, that is so true. My parents argue a lot. Like honestly with friends, I could get with friends that don't know Chinese. I'll get away with saying, oh yeah, that's their normal speaking language. But then when they actually argue, there's like yelling. So they yell. That's their conversational volume. That's their normal speaking volume. And there's like yelling, like they're in like they're using a megaphone or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're just it's just our culture. My parents argue a lot though. They're big whack. Like, my dad leaves the light on by accident. My mom goes crazy. And then my mom My mom forgets to roll up the window to her car, and my dad sees it. My dad goes crazy. I don't know, they did pick on like the smallest things. Okay. Is someone bad nasty? Yo, I'm about to do time on nasty. I like to imagine like I was trash man. That's how you guys met. Trashman is from Canada, and Trashman's English is good. He doesn't need a program. Itra, don't ask anymore. You're getting banned too if you ask anymore. Wherever you went, and yeah, I was not gonna say anything too nasty thing. I'm actually having to explain to my friend that they're not arguing but just laughing. True. I did not like I did not enjoy being in China though. It was so crowded and so hot. It was horrible. I felt so out of place there. We had to go around and interview random people on the street as like our assignment for that class, and it gave me so much anxiety because I was like so nervous and scared or talking to people. Itra, talk any more about it and you're getting banned. And if you get banned, Nasty also gets banned. Alright, so, let's continue reading. Y'all sidetracked me for 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. That's almost how long it took for me to get 20 pages. I could finish the book by now if it weren't for y'all. We should just say ni hao and call it a day. Bruh. Ni hao. Guoba. Ike. Alright. I forgot the line for Guoba. Alright, I'll continue reading. Everyone stay quiet. You're not allowed to talk in the classroom. If you need to go to the restroom or have a question, raise your hand. I won't call on you or I won't acknowledge you, but that's what you have to do. I try again, Guoba on. Alright. As soon as I could read at that level, Itsumi said it was time for me to write. I'm afraid that Bulgarian literature isn't very well known in Japan, she said. So I'd like to translate some Bulgarian texts into Japanese and introduce them to us. I feel like this might be your duty, Diana. Alright, and we're in the story where Diana's like in Japan in the school, and right now they're in the literature club with Itsumi and just talking about how reading's kind of difficult because she's still kind of learning Japanese. But she's learning very well. With that, Itsumi immediately ordered a collection of short stories from Bulgaria. With a dictionary in one hand, I began translating these stories into clumsy Japanese. I realized that understanding what you've read and writing it down correctly are two completely different things. Every day I carefully chose each particle, nuance, and tense as I plugged away at my translations. Japanese is so... I hate learning Japanese. Learning about the particles and like the different ways you can say a verb is too hard. It's too hard for me to memorize. Yeah, they stalled for me, OG. Oh my gosh. Gosh darn, so full. What the heck is that emo eggy? Oi. In fact, I was a kid to laugh when the teacher was mad. Bruh, Sofu. Yeah, I know it's monkey, but that's curse. Lamunk. Uh-oh, Stinky. Haha. Oh, Stinky. Oh. You like watching craft stuff? Not really. Or as in, I don't ever watch craft stuff. On YouTube, what do I watch? I sometimes watch Apex clips. I watch Pokemon a lot. I like Pokemon clips and like Nuzlocke stuff. I think that's it. Wait, what else do I watch on YouTube? Wait, let me go on my recommended right now. Okay, that's Pokemon. That's a song. That's another song, Ghibli song. That's another song about that's a Super Mario Odyssey song. Japan's population drops by 644,000 in a single year. A news channel source. Another song. Something about Dave Chappelle nearly getting Will Smith. Oh yeah, Super Smash Bros stuff. I have Super Smash Bros stuff too, yeah. And that's it, I think. And then, but I've been recently getting live 2D and drawing stuff, drawing recommendations, because I had to search up tutorials for live 2D a lot, and then now I'm getting a lot of recommendations for VTubers, or not like streamers, but like how like making VTubers and like drawing. What the heck, Nomad? Hey, hope you're doing well. Thanks for the sub. Wish you the best. Yeah, they did OG. Yo, feels bad. I mean, honestly, he had it coming, but bro. Actually, I want to become a Chinese house exchange student just to vibe with that YouTuber Li Jiqi. I don't know who Li Jiqi is. You can just Google Dave Chappelle assault maybe, and then you'll probably find it. Yeah, I know. I see. Y'all don't watch those people build houses with water. I've seen those videos, but no, I don't watch them. Usually I just watch Apex, Super Smash Bros, and Pokemon on YouTube. I think that's it. Outside of that, I usually just read like on my free time. I just read manga or draw. Yeah, I just read manga or draw. That's all I do. Bye, Al. Take care. Oh wait, is that the really popular YouTuber that like does stuff in the mountains, like, or in like her like living with her grandmother in the mountains, like, and like doing stuff like creating like a bamboo bed. That's the only thing I remember. There's stuff like that. Oh, it is that. Okay, yeah. My mom showed me a video of her, and I was like, wow, cool. And then I went back to finishing my Doritos and Mountain Dew. Okay, Nasty, you're actually right. Guys, it's reading time. Stop distracting me. Stop distracting the teacher. Yo, me this afternoon, I barely talked to y'all. I was just chilling. I was just doing homework. Yo, Sofu, if you're one of the ladies at Temple Study with my mom, that is totally possible. My mom does do Temple Studies. And get out of there. You're not allowed to do that in Temple Studies. Oh, you did it after. I mean, you're still not allowed to do that. This channel will be stream by stream. Why? It's trying until the bell rings. Yo, Temple Study is. It's just a bunch of memorizing, and yeah, understand the meaning of the text, but still, oh my gosh. Oh, it's divorce. Why? Hey teacher, why aren't you married yet? Your mom is so slave. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna tell my mom that you're a bad influence on her, even though that I don't know why you would tell your parents that, but yeah. I'll get him to why aren't you married yet? Oof. So you see, I think being married being in a relationship is cringe. I love being alone. Being single, I have the freedom to do whatever I want. That's all. You see, being in a relationship is like being with a really good friend, and you know, friends are cringe. That's why. I'm telling you to not pay for Wi-Fi. No, soul food, please. Apex addiction. I don't think I'm even that addicted to Apex. I mean, I guess when Nasty doesn't stream it, I just play like 30 minutes of Apex, like 3 arena games just for fun. Just scared of love. That's actually wait. I mean that's true. I'm pretty sure you heard. I'm not sure if you heard me talking about that before OG, but yeah, love is spooky. But that's cause I'm scared of making friends. That's why I'm scared of love too. Cause that's like super committal, and I hate committing. I hate commitment. I hate committing. I never want to commit to anything. I don't want to commit to third parties. Don't want to commit to 1v1s on Apex. I just want to camp until top 3. Yeah, I say I'm scared of committing like freaking once a week on stream. When I do stream Apex, oh whatever. What the heck? Please, it's true. Thanks for the streets, join me. Whatever, dude. Yeah, OG, right? I'm scared like when they're gone, or they're not what I want them to be, which is a really bad mindset. Octane here pushing everything. Okay, no, I'm just taking fast walks on the beach. Oh, you're right. Honestly, ever since I started playing Octane, I never became the same person. I started going He-Who, I put down a jump pad, and I just get destroyed, but yeah, this is Octane's it's not good. Like my ex did on Christmas. Yo, someone get Alexis in here. Go away, Nasty. That fast was getting started. I like short crawls on Ocean as well. Wait, who? Wait. Oh right, it was that recent rap video. Or was it? This loves long crip walks on the beach. Bad wolf boy noises, bad RNG. Okay, I really need to ignore you guys. Holy heck. Oh, sure. Alright, I'm gonna read now. Sorry, I was typing to this guy that's asking about my car extended warranty. Shadow's favorite book? I don't know if Shadow even knows much about this book, but it is called Dark Maidens. I mean, Shadow was here at one point listening to me, but I don't know if they actually like this book. Or know anything about the book. Alright. But hey, Chocobo, doing well. Okay, where was I? Oh my gosh. Alright, we're here. On the weekends, Itsumi came to a salon and reviewed my Japanese from morning until night. She corrected my work in red ink and sat so close to me that her breath touched my cheek. She politely explained how to correct my mistakes, but the sight of her collarbone peeking out of her shirt or the movement of her seductive lips proved such a distraction that I couldn't focus very well. Even so, around my 10th novel, my Japanese writing skills skyrocketed. My Japanese isn't perfect, but I wouldn't have been able to write a 50-page story like this if it hadn't been for Itsumi. Alright. One day, Itsumi made a suggestion at one of the club meetings. Why don't we translate Shio's book, Kima Kageso, into Bulgarian? No, not just into Bulgarian, but also into English and French, and send it to publishers all over the world. It would be an international hit. Wouldn't it be great if one of our literature club girls spread her wings and flew out into the world? All of the members agreed, and were thrilled with Itsumi's idea. Gonna lurk bots, let's do this again sometime. Yo, I'm canceling. I'm gonna finish the book off stream. I don't care about y'all. Yeah, if you're nasty. In fact, I'm not gonna show up tomorrow. You can play Final Fantasy VII without me. He was looking back for a Except one. Surprisingly, Shio Takaoka was the only one who opposed her suggestion. Shio, why do you look so upset? Itsumi, I'm glad you like my book, but translating would honestly do a disservice to the original piece. I am proud to be Japanese, and that I wrote it in Japanese. My work would die the moment it was translated. That's not true. You inject the English translation that Sayuri and I make. As for French, well, isn't that your specialty? You would be able to capture that original nuance of the piece if you translate into French, right? I told you, there's no way to express the nuance of the original. You wouldn't understand how a professional feels, Shio shrieked. This was the first time that Shio, who had always appeared to be so kind to Utsumi, almost became violent. If we all hadn't been there that day, if it just been the two of them, something might have happened to Utsumi. The meeting ended with the issue on hold. I was shocked that the other members casually talked and packed up their things as though nothing strange had happened. Didn't they notice how awfully Shio had behaved towards Utsumi? Maybe they assumed that Shio was just being selfish and immature, or maybe I was just being petty, thinking it meant something more than it did, because of my own feelings for Utsumi. But despite Shio's opposition, Utsumi didn't give up on translating Kimikageso. She kept it a secret from Shio and worked on it behind closed doors. The world needs to read her novel, she insisted at one of our translation meetings. Shio could say what she wants, but I think she's just insecure. You're insecure. I'm losing IQ. We would send our translations abroad and see our publishing companies react to it. Shio would be so happy if she got a good offer, I just know it. Itsumi, Mofu, get out of here. You're insecure. Don't know what for. I always criticized Shio's work, but it was surely out of tough love in order to help her grow as an author. I loved Itsumi when she was kind and even when she was occasionally stern. Her tough love was also a reason why she'd assigned me all those difficult texts and translations. Love isn't just about being sweet. I gladly took on Itsumi's project and kept working on my Bulgarian translation. Mofu, I'm smacking you. I'm not gonna lie, I did sing quite a bit when you when you were saying last night, Mofu, but honestly, to others it probably sounded like I was just screaming, and my parents were like for one frame away from waking up and slapping me. Not much anymore? Wait, did you delete the VOD, Mofu? Let me check. Oh, nope, it's still there. Poggies. Hey guys, if y'all want to hear, Oh, shoot, Mofu's about to kill me. Yesterday Mofu did a karaoke stream, very pog. Alright, wait, where was I? But despite Shio's opposition, it's waiting out translating. Oh wait, blah blah blah. It's all crazy. Okay, finally the season for the Easter and Pentecost festival arrived. In my hometown, we make sculptures of eggs and use them to decorate the town square. No, Eggy, no! Every year, the villagers look forward to coloring and drawing patterns on them. Japan is not a predominantly Christian country, Christian mingle, and doesn't typically celebrate Easter. However, since St. Mary's Academy for Girls is what is known as a missionary school, it holds an Easter festival every year. I was asked to demonstrate how we celebrate Easter in Leningrad, so I teamed up with a local museum and started working on my sculpture 1 month prior to the festival. Hey, so we were there. I mean, I think we were only there for like the first hour, or for like an hour maybe. On the day of the festival, adorable children filled the campus and hunted for eggs. 10 Easter bunnies danced around my sculpture in the center of the field. I felt quiet. Oh, I think I see a picture right behind us. Oh no. I felt quiet and peaceful watching the pink bunnies dance. I felt a wave of pity. The students who were picked to wear a costume must have been hot. Wearing those suits at that time of year, the chorus students marched as they sang. Thank you, Easter, your sacrifice for our sins. Thank you, Easter, Jesus' crucifixion. We praise you, Easter, all is well. You are resurrected, you are living. Oh god, they look stoned. Oh, there's a drawing. Let me drink some water. Alright, we're almost done. Sofu, I'm slapping you. What the heck? What do you mean I don't wear red track? Okay, that was actually me, but it was black. That tracksuit was black. That was me. And yes, I did do squats. I did squat around. I don't want to call him cute. Then oh my god, it looks stoned. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Get out of here, so fool. Among the little shops selling snacks and beverages lining the side of the campus, I saw a long line for a leisure club's cakes. I stood next to my sculpture and admired how wonderful Easter was in Japan. Our guests were allowed to color and doodle on the sculpture however they liked. I gave crayons to the children that came by and wished them a happy Easter. My legs started to hurt from standing for too long, so I headed towards the school building to rest. Just then, I spotted a pink bunny escorting Itsumi to the back of the gymnasium. They were just about to announce the winner of the egg hunt, so no one had noticed that Itsumi and the bunny weren't there. Feeling somewhat uneasy, I pushed through the crowd and hurried towards the gymnasium. I heard a deranged voice as I got close. I know what you're up to. You're really just making fun of me, laughing behind my back, calling me talentless. That's not true. Please calm down, I beg you, Itsumi implored. You're always looking down on me. I'll never forgive you. I'll kill you. My mouse was Silver getting smacked. When I rushed to the back of the building, I saw a bunny that had a friendly smile plastered on his face, choking Itsumi. That contrast was incredibly disturbing. Itsumi's eyes flew open and her body ripped in plain. I screamed. The bunny, startled by my scream, let go of her neck and ran off. I rushed over to where Itsumi had collapsed and held her as I sat her on the ground. She called violently. Itsumi, are you okay? I frantically rubbed her back. When she had finally caught her breath, she looked up at my face and slowly nodded in relief. What was that? Who was that just now? It's nothing. Speedrun, speedrun, speedrun? It's just... And that's it? Okay. But it's fine, seriously, it was nothing. It was just a misunderstanding. Please forget it ever happened. She started coughing violently again. There were red finger marks clearly imprinted on the base of her neck. Then I remembered that the bunny had taken its glove off before I left. And... burp. And that the girl in the suit had just been wearing green nail polish. Even though Itsumi had told me to forget about it, I needed to know who the culprit was. There was no mistaking it. It was clear that the bunny had intended to hurt or even murder Itsumi. I went to the event planning committee if I was to put away my statue after the festival ended. Then I checked the schedule on the wall to see who has been assigned to wear a bunny suit. As I expected, Shio Takaoka's name was on the list. I went to the salon. Everyone was totaling up the cake sales at the marble table. I wasn't surprised to see Shio counting the coins on the table with her pastel green nails. Itsumi wore a scarf as if trying to hide her neck. Oh, Itsumi, why are you wearing that scarf? I asked loudly enough for Shio to hear, but she continued counting and pretending not to notice. She had some nervous saying in front of Itsumi, cool as a cucumber. Yeah, my neck is a little cold. I like my cucumbers lukewarm, Itsumi said, winking at me. She was bent on protecting Shio. I felt a sudden burst of jealousy. Shio didn't deserve to be close to Itsumi, and yet Itsumi would have done anything for Shio just because she wrote some stupid novel. While Itsumi always forgave Shio's selfishness and hostile ways, there I was, finally standing by Utsumi's side, holding back my feelings. Oh no, what are you doing, Iggy? Go to sleep. I'll never forgive you, I will kill you, Shio's voice echoed in my head. I wanted to say that to her myself. As I faced Itsumi, I whispered in Bulgarian, Itsumi, I'll protect you, I won't forgive anyone who tries to hurt you. The last syllable rang sharp with emotion. Sniff, sniff. Itsumi looked up at me and tilted her head in confusion. What was that, Diana? What did you say? It's nothing. Just a spell for good luck. I hope you'll always be happy. Oh, thank you. She smiled cheerfully. The ephemeral grin might have been a premonition of the future. Itsumi died just a few weeks later. It's been hard for me to breathe since Itsumi passed away. I didn't come all the way to Japan to watch Itsumi die. Why did this have to happen to someone as happy and lovely as she was? I didn't see Itsumi's death. I only saw her lying in the flower bed with the lilies of the valley in her hand. I know I shouldn't say things I don't know are true, but it's clear that Itsumi was murdered, and it is also clear who the murderer is. I'll never forgive you. I'll kill you. The scream I heard at the Easter Festival won't leave my ears. Shio hated Itsumi with a passion, the work of a writer who weaves words out of nothing, breathing life into fictional people and forcing them to fall in love. To despair and to hate must be too grueling for an ordinary person like me to even imagine. It isn't unnatural that Shio couldn't stop until she killed someone she thought had negated her work. Itsumi told me who the culprit is. Kimikage So is a traditional way to say lily of the valley in Japanese. Really? She had said so herself. I would have rather jumped off the terrace with her than lose her like this. What the heck, Fade? Oh, if we had tied... Hey, Fade, hope you're doing well, though. Hope your stream went well. I was lurking. And I know... Oh, by the way. Koba's streaming right now, by the way. Doing that Violin stream. It might have ended, though. But I'm sure it's buzzing. Unfortunately, we stream at the same time. We were never distracted. Iggy, you're getting banned, too. You too, Mofu. What the heck? Koba ended? Oh, bad RNG. If I had tied our hands together, held hands, and took that leap of faith, I know God would have gracefully turned us to stone. We would have spent an eternity huddled next to each other, like the sisters at the Kaledo. Ah, my dear, sweet Itsumi. God would have gracefully turned us to stone is like the legend, a Bulgarian legend about how when the castle was being raided, two girls jumped off a cliff to commit suicide because they didn't want to die by the hands of the enemy, and they got turned to stone, as in they got turned into statues by the people there. I was just referencing that. I've also been lurking. Hey, let's go. Yeah, I finished that emo today. I just finished that emo today. It took a while. Holy heck! Drawing one frame took like 30 minutes to an hour. And it's 14 frames. Thank you. I know I'm so awesome and amazing. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Feel free to give me more compliments. And I also cannot forgive myself. I will never forgive Shio Takaoka. And I also cannot forgive myself. I cannot forgive my foolishness and my inability to protect her. I'll regret this for as long as I live. I regret that I failed to protect the only person I've ever loved. I regret that I can only watch her die as I stood by her side. Oh, don't say cute and adorable. Oi. What do you mean no? Okay, whatever. But thanks. But honestly, I basically just traced over the original. And it was easier because it was in pixel art, so it was like much more low res. So I mean, it's kind of hard to, it's kind of weird to take credit for it. But I guess like the bread on the head and the coloring is done by me, I guess. I did ask Mofo like, hey, what goes well with blue? And they said purple, so I made the maracas purple. And yeah, if you click on the emote, you like zoom in on it. On the top right, it is a slice of bread and egg on it. Yeah, I asked, hey, what color goes well with blue? Like for, and then you said purple. And I was like, thanks, dude, and I left. Are you... I'm gonna ban Sofu. Oh my god. I'm about to smack you all. Oh my god, disgusting. Alright, let's end this. Thank you, Diana. You're the only international student in the literature club, since you're only going to be here for a year. I expected that your story would be the most objective of all. And it was just that what I had hoped. The tension that only exists at an all-girls school. I've never consciously felt something like that before. You use hiri-hiri to describe how you felt and then ask if it was the appropriate word. But I don't think you could have chosen a more fitting one than that. It's not pain you're describing. As you said, it's more like your heart is being sanded down to nothing. You've really become proficient in Japanese in the 3 months you've been here. And within that short period of time, Itsumi has passed away. I learned a lot by listening to your side of the story, but all of this reading, including yours, claims something different. All the readings, including yours, claim something different. What in the world is going on? Your reading was truly music to my ears. That Bulgaria accent makes your Japanese sounds very sexy. I usually never say this word. It's so weird saying this word. Your voice also has a lovely depth to it. And the hometown you describe with that lovely voice, the towering, gallant mountains, the historical buildings and landmarks, the Rose Valley, the vibrant sea, vividly appeared right before my eyes. Your reading was very charming. Thank you very much. Let's all give her a round of applause. Pachi, 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 pachi. Is everyone eating enough? Let's add a few things to the stew. Please feel free to come take another drink if you like. My goodness, what's all the fuss about? What? A watch? Someone brought another watch this year? Who's lucky girl? Who is it? What is it? Oh, Akane Kominami. I'm terribly jealous of you. That doesn't mean that's as high quality as last year's, you know? It was probably cheap, though we won't know until the meeting ends and we turn on the lights. Perhaps we will envy you, or perhaps we will see its toy and everyone will laugh at you. It is one of the things that make our mystery stew so exciting. Let's let our imagination run wild until the very end. Could the next reader prepare while I add some things to the stew? Let's see. Was it Sonoko who's next? Ah yes, Sonoko. Please head to the ring court.